Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel and another episode of Humpdazed number 50. As always, I'm here with my wonderful wife, Crispy Wannabe, and it's a beautiful spring day today. Hope everybody's enjoying that. Crispy.
Cheers, everybody. Hi, I'm Crispy Wannabe. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hello, chatters. I see Captain Blackheart in chat. Small Tubes, Art Man. How you all doing? Ganja Ghost, Weed Nerd, Rocinante, Rowdy's in chat. It is a beautiful day out there. We finally got our grass cut for the first time this year. Our neighbors were looking at us like, what's up with you?
I had to get the sickle out, man. It was just starting to lay down. But in our defense, we had some areas that we wanted to scratch them up and put some grass seed on, and get the grass to start growing better. So I kind of was holding off for that, but I went today and cut around all them spots. It looks funny, but all right, I put the link up there if anybody wants to join. And yeah, it's 419 today. So big day to 420,
420. A lot of 420 sales going on. Yeah. So people out to get new grow equipment or something for their grow room. Take advantage of those sales.
Yeah, we have a link below it. We'll get you Photon Tech, Medic Grow, or Canatrol, and it'll take you right to it. What's up, Art, man? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys. Doing real good. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. How are you? Have you do any fishing today?
I did go fishing. I did okay. I sat out the lake for 4 or 5 hours. It was wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Just that
alone. It was beautiful. Oh, yep. It was beautiful.
No doubt. Looks like your girls are doing good.
Oh, yeah. They're doing real good. The Amy Aces is kind of catching up to the New England Rock Candy. So I'm getting ready to throw a couple of clone into a pot here. Show you my clones.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Check out these.
You're on the big screen, man, so go for it.
All right.
That's cool, man.
Can you even see those?
Oh, yeah.
Let me come back over here. We're on the wrong screen right now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There you go.
They're crazy roots, though.
Yeah.
Crazy roots. So, but I'm going to put one of them into the rocks right now.
The hydroton.
Yes, hydroton.
Now that stuff's reusable, right? You just keep reusing it.
Oh yeah, I've been using the same hydroton I've had for a long time, years.
Oh, cool.
Great white. I put great white down in there.
Okay.
Give them a kickstart.
A healthy rhizosphere there, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
How's your girl going?
Oh, it's going good.
Almost about ready to come down. We scoped them and they're ready. It's just a matter of getting to it.
Yeah, I think
cool.
We're on like 8.5 weeks. They're starting to actually put out a couple white fish. It's like kind of telling me they're ready. I think some of them. I think like 3 of them are real ready. The other ones are, right there. They're ready, but
they should be fairly nice to chop.
Yeah.
Actually, tomorrow, 420. Like 420.
I was thinking about it.
Yep.
Ta-da!
Awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah,
very simple.
Hell yeah, it's ready.
Now, what are these clones of again?
Now, this is just my flow. Keep that going. I'll call the mother that I have here. But
okay.
And I put a little dome on there, let it harden for 1 day or so. So that's all that is. But the other girls are doing real good. The rainbow butter is just kicking. It just turned off, unfortunately. So you can't really see it.
Same here.
But I saw a picture the other day. She looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's popping out pretty good. So
that's awesome.
So in front of us is what? The New England Rock Candy and the Amy Aces?
You know?
Yeah,
that-
the one on the left is the New England Rock Candy. It's about a week or so ahead of the Amy Aces, and I noticed I got a little canoeing on there. I'm not sure what's going on. I got to recheck the res. I haven't changed it for a bit, so that might straighten me out.
Old Amy's
that's
a
what's
worker, man.
Oh yeah,
She's vigorous for sure. So now you got your two flow OGs, and you say you're gonna flower that mother now, right there.
no, I'm gonna call that one. I don't have enough room in the. Once I get Amy Aces and the New England Rock Candy going a little taller, I'll put them in there. But I don't think I can put that in there and have it done in time and scheduling. So I'll just call the mother and grow one of the other clones as the more vigorous of the two as the mother, the new mother.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it
that
works
was
out
one
pretty
thing-
good.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I thought you were about this. I was gonna say we talked about that before. The genetic drift. Remember that was a big thing there for a while. I think people have gotten away from it now. They kind of know that it's not a real thing, but for a while there, people were wondering like, how long can you keep clones for? And I think a lot of the OGs knew already that you could clone them 30, 40, 50 times and, keep going. And it's weird because in my mind, it seems like science would tell you that the DNA will break down over time because it's not an annual plant or it's perennial, whichever one comes up every year.
Yeah,
It's not.
It may break down some, but I certainly haven't noticed it at all. And I've run this for generations, mothers and clones, and keeping on going. So
People have said I've been running this for 20, 30 generations. Our buddy professor.
yeah.
But and it's one thing I've never done, Art, man, was flower a clone all the way to the end and harvest
Really?
it. Never have done it,
Yeah.
man. And
get out of here.
I know.
I love
Yeah.
it. That's my thing, man.
You know
You've
what
never
I've
done
always
it?
believed? No, and you know what I've always believed? Well, I guess it's true. Now, this is one that people will argue, I think, is that clones don't hold as much weight as a seeded brother or a seeded sister, I guess it should say. And because the taproot makes a better grip to the ground and it creates more nutrient and water flow.
Did you see all those roots coming out of that clone?
Oh yeah, I did.
I mean, I don't have a tap root, granted,
I know.
but that was a lot of roots now.
Yes, it
And
is.
as far as them not producing as much, I'd have to argue that.
Really?
Completely. Oh,
No.
absolutely. I mean, the stuff now, the Velvet Punch and I don't expect the Rainbow Butter to produce as much as my clones of Flow did.
Okay.
Not even close. Not even half.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. But then again, I grow them taller, and I know what to expect out of the clones. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I
we're
mean,
like rookies at it. We've never even, I
Yeah.
mean, we were successful at taking clones and we started to get our feet wet with that. And
We did it for fun because
yeah,
I don't want a tent full of the same thing over and over. And I don't really have a place to hold genetics, or I guess maybe the wherewithal to hold genetics for a long time right now. So it doesn't really make sense for us, at the moment to try and keep clones. And I like the variety we get when we grow seeds, and it just hasn't made sense for us. Like I said, I really don't want to have drawer after drawer after drawer after drawer the same shit. Now, if I was growing for scale to sell or something, then obviously it'd be a different story. I'd learn the other way, but just for our certain situation, I think the seeds are nice. But that's something that I've always wanted to do, though, is to get the clones and flower and
take
put
a
it to the end.
take
Yeah,
a clone and flower it out. Yeah, we want to do that. We're
we're gonna have
it's
to.
our future
Yeah,
for sure.
well, I got 3 new strains. I mean, I do like variety, so I am pushing out. So
yeah, and it's nice because you do have a nice area here to hold these. That's a good spot to be able to take clones from. Keep your mothers.
I wish
over.
we had we need a higher plant count, though. Honestly, it's kind
Yeah,
of restrictive. 5 is really restrictive. So
That's what fucks you, right?
yeah, that's it.
They're just
So-
checking up on that. Like
Yeah.
I've always wondered, like
I have no clue.
everybody that's like in a legal state with plant counts. Do you have people come around like knock, knock, knock? Hey, Art man, we want to come in and make sure you got your plant count correct.
Well, I think it's all, you still want to be within the ball, regardless of
Yeah.
whether they're coming in second. A lot of people want to have it in case they do. They know they're in
Right.
line. That's why a lot of people only grow now because it's legal. And that's why they do a law.
Well,
but I'm-
growing without fear is priceless. I mean, it's just,
Exactly.
oh my
Exactly.
God. But
Yeah, that would be weird. Like I wouldn't know. Over my shoulder long after it's legal here. I think just because it's been happening. It's been life.
Hey, we was at this gas station, they aren't, man. Got a couple slices of pizza and shit. We're sitting on the tailgate of the truck, and the cops got this girl pulled over, and they're cuffing her and shit, like right there behind our truck. And me, the sinister me, I'm looking at all these cops thinking, yeah, I was like profiling in my head and shit, doing the exact shit that I think that, I wouldn't want someone doing to me. I'm like, look at that cop. He's real short. He probably has a complex. He's probably a man hater. And then I was just,
Maybe they're just out to do their job.
and I was like, I said, no, they just want to take us to jail, man. I said, that's if them guys, any of those guys knew what we was doing at home, they would have a boner because they'd be able to get on the news. You know what I mean? And then this one big dude, this big black hawk come around. I was like, now here he comes. Because he's so big, he's out manhandling everybody. So you got the Napoleon syndrome and then the exact opposite. And they come walking around the car. That poor girl's crying. But whatever she did, she got cuffed and stuff for it.
crazy.
What's up, CT's best exotic smoke? How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
I was coming in just to be in the Zoom, and I had just the YouTube kept lagging for me, so I just didn't want to miss the show. I'm never able to make it to your guys' live, so I was like, yeah, you just see if I could join over here and check them out. I don't know, actually in the car, so I'm just checking
What's
it
nice
out,
to
brother.
have you here, man?
How's
Shit.
everything?
Yeah.
Say it again.
I said it's nice to have you here. We're smoking down on some of this Mac we grew a couple grows back and taking it easy. It's been a long day, man. I got up real early. Long
Too
day.
early. Our nap was really short.
Cut my nap short.
Nah, your nap was short. Yeah, I'm still in trim jail, man. It sucks. So tomorrow I gotta have all the tents clean and shit. It's gonna be a headache tonight, so I'll be probably on no sleep. That'll be fun.
Oh, congratulations.
I gotta get
on another
those
harvest.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow's the start of that challenge, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's the start
Oh
of the
yeah.
spring autoflower challenge.
People will be dropping seeds. We'll be dropping seeds tomorrow at some point.
Yep.
It's crazy because when you guys gave me the seeds and they reached out to me, I didn't know everybody was gonna try the Sticky Dicky, which was pretty funny. But so I had already sent out for 2 other strains and they accidentally sent me the Sticky Dicky. So I was like, awesome.
Oh,
It's-
You
it
know,
was-
And accidentally. What's the
Yeah.
you know what it was?
Yeah,
awesome.
the coincidentally, I gotta have try to at least have the largest Sticky Dicky.
Well, everybody and their brother seems to be ready to grow it. So they probably was so used to grabbing pack after pack after pack for all these people from CSU.
Yeah, I was happy. I was happy because I asked Jordan if she could change it because I didn't know everybody was gonna try. I didn't even know it was one of the picks. I didn't see it.
Ah,
And so then she's like, oh, it's too late. I was like, it's all right, I'll order it. So I ordered a pack anyways, but they came too. So I was like, oh, cool. I get to do it twice.
What's up, buddy, Tiba, man?
What's happening? What's happening?
Hi, Chiba.
Chiba.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Just thought I'd show you what I got. I got people coming over. I just want to get on before they get here.
All right.
This is
Thank you for sharing.
today is Wednesday. Wednesday, that makes it day 2 of week 8. Day 2 of week 8.
So you'll be finishing up here.
Yeah, I'll be finished. This one looks like this one's ready to go. So I'm gonna finish probably week 8. I'm get the scope and scoper later on. I got that digital microscope. It's a
Okay.
bitch to figure out how to use, but I'm
know.
gonna get in here.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing, man.
I'm gonna get in there and get this scope. But this baby looks like she wants to go. I'm peeling
To use
dead
that-
leaves. I'm peeling dead leaves off her constantly. So yeah, she's ready. But
To use that digital scope, brother, dial the one that's on the bottom all the way to the right, I believe it is, and then
Right.
unzoom with those two buttons and that picture button. Make sure your finger's on that, and you'll be
right.
good to go, bro. It works like a charm.
I know. It's just
But it took me a while to
learning
get it
It's a
too.
learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I still
Anyway,
not use mine.
this is
What?
Twisted Roots is purple death drool. They're gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
first to finish. Nice. Coming in.
Oh, yeah.
That's been an
Yeah.
adventurous grow for sure for you. I know with dropping the light and having some males and
Oh yeah, you saw me with the troubles and stuff. But
yeah, man.
Hey,
It's
that's all
amazing.
right,
But you did great.
It's
this
nice
one,
close to harvest too.
oh yeah, I'll be all right with these so far. Again, I've learned. I got the over newt. I'm flushing now to get these newted out. But my next grow, so I got set up downstairs. I got a cherry mango super lemon haze. I got
That sounds good.
I got a something called Sweet Sour D from Twisted Roots. I got I can't remember. I got 5 different strains downstairs. I got them written down, but
Yeah.
I just want to see. Okay. Anyway, what we got? Let's finish up what we got here. Forget where we start next. We got here, like I said, Purple Death Drool by Twisted Roots. This is 2020 Mendocino's glue sniffer.
I like that.
These are coming in real nice. I mean, they stink like funky stink. I like it. And this one's like, where is she? There it is. This one just keeps falling further. Every time I lift her and pull her inside, she wants to fall right back in that fucking bowl.
That's it.
Just let her lay there.
Looking good.
That one is the Banana Kush by Greenpoint Seeds. That's Banana Kush. No, the Banana Punch, that is. That is Banana Kush crossed with Purple Punch by Greenpoint Seeds. And Jolly Green Giant back here. That is Tao's fucking Bruce Banner crossed with Cheesequake, which I did disservice by not monitoring my freaking water correctly. But even though she's filling in as best as she could. And she's greasy. Greasy as fuck. Whereas everybody else is sticky, she's greasy.
Yeah.
So I got more beans downstairs. I'm gonna pop them maybe not next go round, but when I got those, so I'll do her over again and give her justice. But my next round, we're gonna be doing all Perlite Hempies because I don't have the time to do this water. Excuse me, to do this water. Because now I gotta get in here and get in this now. Doing this summer, it's crazy. Last week, what was it? 50 degrees, and then all of a sudden, 2 days of 90 degrees, then next back to 50 degrees. This water
Yeah, I had to go crazy with the AC. I wasn't drying too, man.
Oh my
God.
I had to hit the AC, the dehumidifier. We had 2 days of 100% humidity.
Oh yeah.
I had to go buy a dehumidifier. Then I had to buy a double port AC. So that the freaking dry wouldn't go wrong, man.
Yeah, so I gotta
It's
put
good to have all the necessary equipment beforehand, though.
I'm new. I didn't think about none of that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I got it. I got it before it hit anything wild. It only hit up to 63 degrees, but I didn't even like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, that was 83 and 66 when I came in here.
Wow.
That. What I do at night, let's see what we dropped to last night. We got as low as 35.
Oh. And as high as 70. Okay.
As high as 70. It's going up and down, it's the weather. I can't keep the ambient temperature right.
Yeah, without being automated,
Yeah.
man, we're the same boat. We play catch up a lot, you know.
But I'm hoping the fluctuation will give me a little stress, and give me some cannabinoid production or some shit. Maybe I get some off of that. Hot, cold. I keep it circulated. Everything's blowing. Whatever this says my leaf temperature is 5 degrees low. No matter what. No matter what this says. No matter what this says, I'm 5 degrees lower on my leaf.
I think some stressors can be good, but I don't know if one constant like that is necessarily a great thing. What it does is it changes the rate at which your plant does a lot of things like process water, take up nutrients. So when it's on a hot streak, it's really processing a lot of water nutrients. Then when it gets cold or dry, it slows way down. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of catch up, man. One thing I can say with certain is that plants like consistency, man. If you can
Well, like I said, this the last weeks. Like I said, that one's coming out. That one's coming out probably that's next week or whenever. And these others ain't too far behind. And I'm gonna go and get this all set.
Dominating. Look at that.
Yeah, it's huge.
The greasy one's like overpowering all of them.
It's huge.
Like
Is it? Had I done it right and had the proper nug structure. Oh,
yeah.
my guests are here. Okay, I gotta go. My people are here. All right now.
See you later, buddy.
Later.
Grow up, Chiba.
Later. Yeah. Toby.
Oh, we love, man.
Bring them on. Tell them to come in. Hang out.
Everybody's welcome. You got plants. We can see.
Hey, Ross Anante says in the chat that greasy and sticky means the trichome has exuded resins and the trichome shell is stretching and splitting from the pressure inside. You know, we've had them. A lot of people say that greasy, sticky. I don't particularly like that a lot. I think I like more of a, I don't want to say a sandier type. I guess it would be good for washing just because it's easier to trim and everything else. But that greasy stuff, you can't see the trikes as easy either, it seems like, or something. You know, they look less trikey when they're greasy. I don't know. I don't think it's my favorite.
The plants look like they took a mean, I don't know what, I didn't watch his grow, but they took a mean hit somewhere.
Yeah,
he's still going to get something from it. But that fluctuation from 35, that's a big one, man. Wow.
Well,
I'd be scared of that.
He took a big hit in his EC, man. He was running like I think a lot of times he wasn't there or something, and his EC was going up at his root zone, especially on them DWC buckets. He was getting real low water for a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say they lose water real quick too. They take it right up.
That's why he
concentrate the nudes.
Yeah, he wants to switch back to his hempy buckets there. He grows in straight perlite, CT.
Really?
Yeah, it's a straight they're called.
I've never seen that. I seen all that perlite. I was gonna ask if we had a fungus.
It's pretty wild shit.
It is wild.
They just grow right into perlite, dude.
You know
that's
what?
pretty crazy.
It is crazy, and it was been a long time, but I remember, Smott and I thought, wonder if we could do that. Like, is it possible? And we got.
I asked my wife that.
Yeah,
and it worked.
We watered it like 4 times a day. Yeah. Kitty got a hold of it and chewed the shit out of it, and it was getting to a point where we was tired of watering it.
We were just, out of the curiosity, because this is very early on in our grow experience, career, whatever.
Yeah.
And we didn't know. So technically, that was our first
But yeah, he knows that he ran into some EC problems there and had some issues, and it would be nice to see him try to get his feet back under him, because that sucks when that happens, It
happened to me my first grow.
Oh, that's when it really sucks, man. It's easy to push a brand new person out of wanting to grow their own meds if they invest a bunch of money and have a shitty first run,
Yeah, and they were autos, and they were in a 2x4, and I thought I could fit 6 of them in there.
Oh yeah.
And but I did it. I did it, and I got over a half a pound in there, and I couldn't believe it.
Right.
That they grew. I couldn't believe it.
Well, doesn't Doc have 6 in his 2x4 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he flipped them in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, real soon.
Pretty quick.
He did. Absolutely.
And his garden's looking awesome too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Nice.
He's killing it.
Yeah, and then Chiba had some he had one of his lights break or fall and break one of his plants. He ran into some males. He had quite a few issues this run. Remember, he was underlit for a while until we got that built up. So it's been a little bit of a work in progress, but it's nice that
It's awesome to see that.
At least he gets to harvest.
and he's been doing it for a while, and
That's
it's
awesome.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm he carries. I love his attitude about the garden.
She
You know,
goes
that
all over.
passion that comes through, I guess. The excitement.
Very
I
passionate.
like all the different styles we see here too.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything, you know, you never know.
Right.
And I'm a little jelly of all you that like are doing all of that. The guts to just try different things. Smart and I are gonna try to start being more like Yin's guys, you know, and trying, you know, different media, DWC in our
Do you see
future.
the roots on this plant? That plant
Oh
I showed you?
yeah.
It looked like a blanket, a woven blanket.
Yeah, I like that whole, you know, the rock wool and those cubes. That it just seems like that would be very neat, like nice and clean using that.
See, those
Yeah, you really got to be on top of the maintenance with that, though. You got to be on top of it to be clean for those DWCs. Those roots get insanely.
Yeah, you gotta be on like the microbes, the temperature so that you're not getting like that. That's my biggest fear when it comes to us doing the DWCs. How are we going to keep that
without a chiller?
For
Well, that's anybody with a reservoir, though, you know.
Yeah, honestly, man, I don't keep more than like a 6-gallon reservoir anymore. I go in and do it every day, which I'm in there every day anyhow. But I don't. We don't really have much of a.
Yeah, we don't really run into that kind of problem.
I used to keep like a 30-gallon res, but I don't anymore. I used to keep bubblers in it, but my stones would get all and shit. I got rid of that, you know. But using the ponds or that aquascape stuff, using that and at the right time of year, we wouldn't need any kind of chiller. I think probably 5 or 6 months out of the year, we could get away with doing like a DWC without any extra chill factor. But I think other times we might run, because there's times where I go in and my res is not a good temperature. It works.
No, it's not. And there's been times like
it'll be freaking 79 degrees or something, man. But it works. I hope usually that's one nice thing of having a small res is it's not like that long. You know?
No, it's not. But we have put like some funky smelling water on the plants, and we've never really noticed anything. And I know we're taking a risk, but weed nerd, how are you doing tonight?
Cheers. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Like we're underwater.
Yeah, man, I got my root cam going there. So now I got some
That's
video.
root cam.
Yeah, man.
That's why he came by.
Can't quite see the roots yet there. Well, maybe. I took a picture earlier there and I saw a little something sticking out there. I think the black you see there, I don't know if you see my mouse, but the black you see there, I think that's the rim of the net pot.
I got you. I see it.
And I'll show you guys there because I can dip down there. The tube, it's a tube inside the jar.
That's freaking cool, man. Hey,
I pipe some wires in there, or some airline, and I put some little air stones, some little 1.5-inch ones, little baby stones.
Dude, that's freaking cool. That's a badass.
That's sick, man. That's sick.
So now there's nothing in it there because I just got that little like seedling in there, but it's got like a centimeter. It's probably an inch now there, but it's potentially going to be hanging in that tube there. The only thing I'm worried about is because right now the net pot's sitting on top of that little like plastic thingy that sits on top of the jar.
Okay.
And once the roots start growing out, they're going to grow out of those holes. You know what I mean? And if I lift the net pot, it's going to rip the roots out. So I have to keep all that together.
Yeah.
You know, once roots develop, so I'm going to have to seal basically that plastic piece to my lid and lift the lid with that plastic piece, with the stones, with the roots and everything to be able to go check my pH.
How
It's
big?
a
That's
little
going to be
tricky.
interesting.
Yeah, it'd be a little tricky to do there. You know what I mean? So the
We're gonna
roots have been a
follow
little
that one.
weird. What's that?
Is that a jar? How big is that?
Yeah, it's a 2-gallon jar. It's a drink
Oh,
dispenser I
wow.
found on Amazon. It's got a spigot on it, so I'll be able to like drain it.
Oh,
Nice.
Potentially, I was thinking maybe use the spigot to
yeah.
like drain a bit of water out of it, check my pH that way,
Fuck
Yeah.
and make my
That's-
adjustments just by dipping in like my little dipper of pH there and stuff. And
We
then
used to have one of those full of Kool-Aid when I was a kid in the fridge, man. You just go in there and blam, you hit the button, dude, you get yourself some Kool-Aid. Hey, I got one of the obvious questions, man. How about light? There's a lot of light coming in on your roots.
yeah, exactly. It's so I got my bennies in there.
Yes,
So
I don't
I'm
know.
hoping they'll take care of it, like as far as because there's going to be algae and stuff or whatever green stuff. There was green stuff on the roots a few times from leaks from the net pot.
Yeah.
Like there was a gap in my little foam thing there. As the trunk grows, it kind of spreads that foam color. It puts a gap in it. There's a little beam of light that gets in there, and so I get a little green on the top part of the roots there, but it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't, as long as it's
I guess
not
that's part of the
rotting.
experiment, right?
Yeah,
You're
well,
hoping
we'll
to you're hoping to overpower the algae with the good bennies,
yeah, well, yeah,
more or less.
that and because right now there you can't see nothing because there's nothing in there. But I want to try to because I just had a few nights there. I didn't go check the video to see what it looks like, but the IR, right? The IR reflects off the glass, off the plastic, off everything to see at night, right? There's only 2 hours of nighttime, so it's no big deal.
Okay.
But I want to see how that works because if I can get it to see better at night, I'll box that thing up dark. So it's a dark 24/7. You know what I mean?
I was just going to say, put a
And use the
sleeve on it.
IR
Yep.
24/7. So that
Yeah,
way we could
absolutely.
see better and that there's no damage with the light and all that. So we'll see how I got to see how it goes with the IR and the reflections and all that there because there's no roots right now, so I can't see what's going on. Can't really make a decision.
Mad scientist.
But I got it
Another
set up
one.
there. It's all covered. You know what I mean? So let me just show you.
I love it.
So that's what it looks like from the top there. I kind of got the net pot lid on it, and that net pot is sitting
Yeah.
in that tube there, basically, over top of the jar. So you can't really see the jar right now because it's kind of covered by a bunch of stuff there to keep the light out. I got
Right.
net pot covers and mylar and a bunch of stuff there all around it. But it's not light proof. It's just that kind of shielded a bit so I can see better.
Right. No,
Yeah.
that's
So that's what's going on. So that was the first one to pop out of my seeds there. So it was the biggest one. So I figured, well, I'll put that one in first because it's the first one to get roots long, right? So I'll see some first and make a decision, maybe move it and use a different plant later. I don't know.
I'm curious to see how fast they go and shit under there. Cause I know you mentioned this before to have like a root cam.
Yeah, to see because I see the development. Like the time lapses are great, for the outside, like to see the plant grow, but I've never
Right.
seen the roots grow. I want to see
Yeah.
that, man. That's
You know what we gotta do? We gotta get next is one camera on the roots, one camera on the above ground, and watch them grow. Put them on a split screen and watch them grow together. You could see the roots in conjunction with the above ground.
well,
That'd be
that's what I got right now, right? So that's
Oh, you
both
do
of
have.
them.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
time
that's
lapsing both of them. So the
Bam.
top, that's the top part. So I'm
Oh.
gonna have all my buckets. You're gonna see them all in this room. This is a 5x5. But then I'm gonna have that cam on the root jar, just
Yeah, I see
dedicated
what
to
you
that
got.
jar.
I see what you got.
So I'll
And
be able
you-
to combine them potentially later in a time lapse video and have the up and lower, simultaneously time lapsing at the same time. That'd be
So
cool.
the round camera that's on top of that gray bucket, is that the upper picture? Is that zoomed in on the jar?
No, that's just a different cam. It's
Oh,
the one I
okay.
had on my pole before in the 5x3.
Gotcha.
They're the
remember
only two I can time lapse with. Those two, they're phone cams, meaning you have to
Yeah.
use a phone app to get to it. So I can't use it through my PC and time lapse it. But the other one is a Wi-Fi IP cam. So I can, through my home network, I can use it and
I
access
gotcha.
it through iSpy and all that and time lapse.
That used to be the sound boom. It looked like a sound boom.
Yeah,
they-
it was on the,
Yeah.
it was on that, I actually got the holder from Doc, a reference
Oh,
from
yeah.
his equipment guide there. He's got a camera holder thingy there for the pole.
Nice.
It's really nice. So yeah, but it's that cam. So.
Hey.
It looks just like the one you see on the bucket. It's just that it's not the same technology.
XYZ Vector just joined us. I'm going to say hello.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
Hello. Hey,
Yeah,
that's cool.
All I got.
Hey,
Oh,
we
yeah,
nerd.
XYZ.
Yeah, thanks, man. It should be cool, man. I want to see what the night stuff does there, so I can do it, and mask the light, so I don't get no algae and stuff. But I'm not anticipating too many problems. Like Art said there, I'm thinking my bennies will outpower whatever badness happens with the water. I mean, it's the
This is a
ponds,
deep-
right? Ponds
Yeah.
are in the sun, so
Probiotics
This is a
the way to go.
yeah, it's deep water
Is this-
culture. It's DWC, but in
Okay.
a 2-gallon glass mason jar. It's a glass
Okay.
jarred drink dispenser I found on YouTube. It's got a spigot on it. It's got an infuser and jar in the middle there. That's what you see there, the plastic with the holes there. It's meant to put fruit in it and stuff so you can infuse your water. You know what I mean? As a
Well,
drink.
H2O2 is going to be your friend on this one, I think. I don't
No, I
know
got
about your
bennies. I don't
bennies.
believe in
You don't believe in
sterilization.
H2O2?
No, you sterilize it,
Mm.
man. You're killing everything, all the life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's good life. You know what I mean? There's good life in
Oh,
there.
yeah. There's
Root
good and
zone.
bad.
So I
But
got
yeah,
these
you're
little
going to have
stones in
algae
there.
in there.
No, that should be fine. Like I said,
Mhm.
I had light in my because I had like many different totes, with different covers and stuff, and a lot of
Oh,
them
yeah.
were not light proof, and they did get green on the inside, but it was just on the
Mhm.
top of the roots, and it never developed into anything else. But it wasn't massive, like I've seen where you put a lot of light, everything turns
Oh
green.
man,
So we'll see it.
crazy.
That might happen. Right? So that's why I'm
can't-
hoping
yeah.
that the IR, works out so that I can shield it from that.
The guy on Instagram recently, man, he was a new guy, so he really didn't know anybody, but he had clear cups, And dude, they were green as hell. All the roots were green outside, but his plants look really healthy. He's like,
It's
"This gonna
symbiotic. Remember that seed I had? I had a helmet head. It was like a late drop. I put a seed, it didn't pop. And then all the
Yeah.
other ones popped, and then I dropped another seed. And so that rooter had been there for a while there. It got wet and it got green. It was completely green, peat moss, all mushy looking. It looked gross, but the seed grew out of that, no problem. It dried off. It
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
caused an issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Only
your
one-
only issue. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead,
go-
Smut.
Why? Go ahead, man.
Your
I was
only
ju-
issue is going to be you're going to have to watch the pH. You're going to be adjusting that a lot, and you're probably going to have to give your plants a little bit extra nutrition just to counter the fact that the algae is going to suck it up.
But yeah, well, I'll see it, right? If I see the green, I'll know that it's
I can't wait
going
to
to be
see
a
how it
problem.
turns out.
Because like you said, right, they feed. They'll eat the nitrogen. They'll eat, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They'll
They'll
feed
take
off the
all
nutrients.
out of the water and everything, man. But it's cool to see that the upside down cloning shit and people doing all these different. I love following along with these to see how they go. Sometimes, it doesn't always
Yeah,
work.
actually, it'd be really nice to have some almost like algae growing, like SeaWorld. You know what I mean? Like it's not harming the plant. It's potentially taking a few nutrients, but big deal. I got lots of mega crop. I'll feed it. If it could live in there or symbiotic with the roots, shit, it'd be
You
nice
need
looking.
you need a goldfish in there, like Uncle Rick does,
Uh-huh.
man. Put a couple
Oh,
goldfish.
yeah.
Have
A
all-
little sand bottom, get a fish tank
Yeah,
going.
man. You just have your own little ecosystem.
Aquaponics, man. I'm
Aquaculture.
almost there. Yeah, I'm almost there.
Aquaculture.
Because
I'd get an
it's
algae
pond bennies.
sucker
It's made
first.
for fish, so fish
No.
could potentially live in my nutrients. It's just I don't know about the nutrients though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'd get an
Does it
algae.
like
That nitrogen.
1500 EC there? I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think so.
But that's not much. Apparently, our P is way more. So, maybe.
Oh, I seen this dude, man. You guys ever hear this? This has nothing to do with growing, but I found it pretty interesting. I guess it does have something to do with growing. You ever hear of a terrarium? Is that what they're called? This dude made this big ass. It was like a 50-gallon glass jar, man. And he put like plants in there. He put bugs in there, like roly polies, all this shit. Then he sealed it, and he said it'll be good.
Yeah. I seen that.
For 100 years or something. It could, because what happens is it's its own little ecosystem. It'll get like the leaves die off, feed the worms.
That biosphere kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's a terrarium.
Mm-hmm,
What's it called? I can't remember.
little
now.
closets there, and then it just lives off itself. The evaporation and all that creates a little cloud. It doesn't rain, but
Yeah, it had like
it's
a
dew, right? So the
Yep.
dew forms on the leaves. It falls back to water. It's
It's wild, dude. And it's just its
Cool.
own little cycle. And I'm thinking, that's back. I started thinking about the temperature outside the jar, what would it have to be? But all in all, it's a badass little setup. And so he took the lid off of one. He had one that was sealed, like he said it'd be good. He said it'll outlive him. It'll just keep producing and living. And the bugs will keep producing and shit. Well, then one, he took the lid off. I guess it was one that he messes with. And he took I think it was a peach or something. He cut it, a piece of it, and put it in there. And within no time at all these bugs were up on that peach, man. And I was thinking, what a cool ass little
You fed 'em,
flowers.
man. Well, that's how it works in nature, right? Some falls from the tree there, and
Yeah,
everything falls. Everything falls on the ground and gets eaten, basically.
there's all kind of bugs in there. Yeah, I guess they figured it out, but I thought that was a cool ass little that would be something badass to have sitting on like a nice mantle in your house. It could just go on and on and on, you know?
That's a great concept. I'd love to try something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
It's beyond live soil. That's like live, the whole ecosystem, not just the ground.
yeah, yep. Speaking of live soil, man, our shit's out there. I moved it, you know. I moved all of our soil, and now it's collapsed, you know. It must have, by the time it rained and stuff, so I have a lot less. And I thought, yeah, man, I nailed that. I had plenty of soil. Boy, after on it,
You
and sitting out,
tilled your no-till?
well, I had to move everything, man, from one side of the yard to the other side. And yeah, but one thing I learned was we had a shit ton of worms in our compost, man. I was cutting them in half with every shovelful. I felt horrible, but you couldn't get around it. They were everywhere. And so I really am happy with that. The live soil that we have. We're going to try to do some of the stuff like Iceni was showing us. I told my wife, with all them worms in there, you could probably work on putting some stuff at the bottom of there, certain different table scraps to help feed them worms, you know, and keep them in that area. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. We're going to try to document some of that. I have, like you, Weed Nerd, an extra camera,
Right.
and it sees at nighttime, but it's hooked in my Link or my Blink. And Blink got someone told me don't ever hook that Blink camera up to your grow, which is what I wanted to do so I could check on it at night. And they said people hacked them, and now people can look and see what's on you. Yeah, you know what I mean? They hacked.
Well, it depends how you use it. If you use it on your Wi-Fi network at home, then potentially you're safe because nobody can get through. But if you have it on where you can go see it from anywhere, then yeah.
That's what I have. I can check it when I'm at the store, if I'm clear across.
Yeah, don't set it up that way. Set it up a different way. Set it up network at home, like home network, and then use some software to connect to your computer
Who the hell wants to tap
remotely
into
and go
this?
see it that way. That's how I did it. I didn't connect to my camera directly from the internet. I connected to my computer from the internet, and then through my computer, I went to my home network and saw my camera.
I got
That
you.
way, it's a lot safer. Nobody's gonna do
Safer.
that.
That's what my worry was. But what I was going to do was kind of like, I was thinking about it. Our garden grows a lot, but I never really, it's like, it all happens at night or something, man. It's like, boom, you come out and you miss 2 nights. So I want to put that camera right down that part of my yard and see if I can watch our plants go. Cause it'll take snapshots every so often or whatever, you know, like yours. But
Yeah. Oh, small tubes. Yeah, I used the Alfred cam, which was kind of the
Yeah.
same deal that you use your old phones as cams. The problem with that software though is your cams are in a tent that is super hot and it's
yeah.
recording video constantly. So the batteries were exploding. They were bubbling up. They're like balloons. So I had to pull my phones out because it was dangerous there. It was killing the batteries.
I never
You can't
thought of
handle
that.
it.
Hot
Yeah,
and
it gets
humid.
hot, man. In the tent, it's 30, 28, 30 C there in flower, and you got it under the lights. Are looking at I didn't think of that, but I had 4 phones. 2 of them blew, like the lids right off, like the covers came off and everything. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And I look at the phone, I look at the battery. Holy shit, that could have blew up in the tent, man. You know
Them
what I mean?
battery fires ain't no joke, man.
Lithium batteries, man, they're crazy when they
lithium,
blow
man.
up. It was a balloon, man. I took it out. They put that outside right
Oh.
away, man. Holy shit.
I seen an electric bus on fire on a video, man. It was like, like electric cars. It was a
Oh
bus.
yeah, it's bad.
It looked like it was shooting out like a rocket, man. And then it started shooting out the other side. Then it started shooting out the top like this. These
It's like a
batteries.
flare, right?
Yeah.
Chemical
exactly.
burn there. It doesn't need nothing. It'll burn no matter what.
was going nuts. And that luckily everybody had gotten off the shit. But yeah, that's a good point. You gotta watch out for that.
Yeah,
But
so
it's
hopefully
not
it's got
have a
like
lot.
a battery saving thing there where it's not, because they that's the other thing is that the AlphaCam app made you turn all that stuff off.
Yeah.
You know, to make it sleep and all that, so that potentially was the only thing that had access to everything, but it was always on, right? So if your phone's always on 24/7 in a hot tent, that battery it's not going to last. It's going to kill your battery. So if you use old phones, well, big deal. It's a phone that's going to throw away anyways, right?
Right.
It's just that if you use your good phone, you pay $1,000 or whatever, ouch.
Or,
And they don't make them so you can take them out no more.
no,
So
they
now
don't.
you really break your phone. You know what I mean?
I wonder why. Yeah, that's weird. You can't take your batteries out because you can't replace them, man. I had one of my phones. I plugged it in, and it wouldn't turn on or nothing, man. It was totally broke. And they said the only way I could retrieve my stuff because I don't download stuff to the cloud. So I lost all the shit, all my pictures, all my contacts, and because something happened with the port where it plugs in, it wouldn't charge up at all. They said you have to pay like $300 to get your phone fixed.
No, exactly. You can fix it, but it's going to cost you the price of the phone. But sometimes it's worth it to get what's in there. Like
Yeah,
you can get data retrieval or whatever, so they can
I
pull
was
your
so
stuff
mad.
off your card.
I took the loss, man. And for a while after that, I was like, damn, even to this day, I'm like, damn, there's a couple numbers in there.
A lot of money in that.
But anyhow,
Hard drive data retrieval. Oh man, the price per
yeah,
kilobyte. You know what I mean?
somebody fell out, man. Who was it? CT,
Oh, was it
Pickable
CT?
Dabs on Instagram.
He was having a hard time with his connection there, so on YouTube. So maybe he had the same thing with Zoom.
Yeah. He's new to the game, man, and just trying to learn what he can.
Yeah.
Good kid.
Hell yeah, it's nice to be around,
Mhm.
see how he's gonna do it. And
Nice
To,
to help keep from wasting money because he has said he already bought stuff before he knew this, that, or the other. And like you were saying, when it comes to drying and curing, he was new to that. We was talking to him the other day, and I gave him a tip to don't. And I thought this was pretty well known, but I guess it's not, man. And it's when you come to curing, and this most of our crowd will know this, I think, but it's good to mention this if you're talking to someone new, is if you're drying and curing and your plants are coming down at different times, you don't want to add a new fresh plant to the same closet or tent that you might have already buds drying because they'll re-wet the older buds, ruining them, and I've had a lot of people think like they were like, oh man, I'm so glad you said that because I was about to do that. And I'm like, yeah, you don't.
Well, we know this because we did that. And
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
very disastrous. It sucked.
Now, if he was in a big room, I think you could get away with it. If he was in a 12,
Exactly, a separate area or something that would make more
Yeah.
sense there. You know what I
If
mean?
he
Because it
was in a
can
Yeah,
kind
I
of
did.
dissipate. Actually, might even help because you can, instead of using an RH mister to bring up
Right.
the RH, you can use that other set
Yeah.
of plants as the
Yep.
RH source.
I think it's
A small
important.
area don't work though. I did that and it molded, so all in the garbage.
Oh, I even did it in the Canatrol, and that's a bad idea. Like
Yeah.
load it one day and then the next day add some more stuff. That didn't
I
work
didn't
out.
know that.
Yeah. No, because
No,
it's
don't do
it's already
that.
done it. It lost most of its water, and now I'm adding
it makes
100%
sense, though.
water back. It's like it got re-humidified when I did that, which is not good. It's going against the clock there. I mean, put water back in. It's not what
Yeah,
you
you don't
want.
want to wait too long. I think we loaded ours up like over the course of 16 hours or something between the time we started and finished because we stopped, took a nap, got up, finished, and they were fine. But I know what you're saying. You don't want to wait till you're a day or two into that dry cycle and then add a bunch more because even if you add the days of extra dry cycle on to that, you're still re-wetting your old buds. That's
Yeah, I did that. I added a day because I figured, okay, well, I'll start the clock back so
Yeah.
today is day one, right? Or even though I did a full day before, because I kind of figured that it would re-humidify it a bit there. And I got some ice too, so you know what I mean? So that was a good reason to not do it again.
It makes sense.
Yeah, but like in our experience, like Smont said, if you're within that 12 to 15-hour period, we've had no we couldn't tell no difference. And
No.
the bud comes out great.
I'll stop
No,
one thing.
exactly. And you're opening the door all the time, constantly, potentially. It's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's the time it takes to trim it. I mean, you just
Yeah.
you can't have it all ready at once, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like you guys. I'll
Yeah.
start it at 9 in the morning, and by 3 in the afternoon, it's already done 8 hours, but I just finished, filling it or whatever. So it's no big
Yeah,
deal, you know what I mean?
I'd imagine 24 hours is probably your time where you could
Yeah.
add more to the cannon troll. After that, the bus
like 24
the
hours
bus left to stop.
Exactly. After 24 hours after you shut the door and you haven't added anything and it's been sitting there drying,
Yeah.
then I'd say, yeah, that's a little, you're pushing it there because it's
Yeah.
gonna,
That's all.
that first day that really drips there. It's peeing water.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That just scares me just thinking about that. It's good to note that kind of stuff for people, man, because
Yeah.
even if you have really good control over your humidity and your temperature, you don't want to add a bunch of moisture like that in a small space. I think that's important to note. If you don't give a shit and you're in a whole entire spare bedroom and you can hang one on one side, one on the other side, then you should be fine. But you get in a tight area, it sucks. And I'll be damned. You get all the way to the end like that and ruin it on one little misstep like that. It'll really make you pissed at yourself. You're thinking, I made it through all that high EC, low EC training, checking if my light was too high, getting this pH.
The pain.
Day after day after day, I put all this in, and one little mistake of adding extra buds to that closet while it was wet will fuck everything up. And it's important to know.
Yeah, it's not a good mistake to make.
Nope. And it's the kind of mistake you only ever make one time.
Yep. And then
it's such a gut punch that you're making that mistake once.
And you want to tell everybody, make sure to not do this. That's one of the things that when it registers in your mind, you're like, man, I got to mention it. Whether take it for what it's worth. But I wanted to say we're getting close to the top of the hour here. Take a second and tell everybody to make sure they sign up at the Cocoa for Cannabis Spring Auto Flower Challenge. It starts tomorrow, and you can grow autos, photos. There's going to be a side challenge of the biggest auto flower, the smallest auto flower. The theme of the challenge this year is one of my wife's own minds. She came up with from her own mind. It's the Size Matter Challenge. And so it's the first challenge where I've ever had a prize for growing the biggest plant. And the challenge
or the smallest.
The challenge is between you and the autoflower. We're not trying to create a competitive atmosphere in a negative way, but in a way to where, everybody's going to be trying with a lot of people growing the same seeds, lots of fun. Check it out. And if you're so inclined, you can sign up and grow along with us, keep a journal. And for the biggest autoflower, the winner's going to get an FC 4800. For the smallest autoflower, it'll be a FCE 3000. And that's just going to be a lot of fun.
Good
I like
place,
it.
man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun just watching other people grow in the same strain as you. And just checking out those other strains that are growing out there, the biggest autoflower.
Be a lot of sticky dicky out there.
There's going to be a lot of stickies out there.
Hey, you started it. I wanted to say something, but I was just being a good little boy, minding my own business.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Always be
that's
yourself.
a chance I jumped
brother.
on it.
Always be yourself. To a limit, I guess, what's socially gracefully acceptable. Sticky Dicky's a fun time to grow. We were talking about that, I think you were there. We were all saying about it feels weird to say my Sticky Dicky's bigger than yours, and it just sounds I'm growing the stickiest.
For interesting chat comments.
And,
Everybody's gonna get banned. What the hell?
Oh, going to get a strike.
We got 12 complaints today.
I think the size
That's all good.
matters. Just like makes you pay attention. Like,
Make sure
what's
you're-
going? Well, yeah, size matters. What? And then you hear Sticky Dicky going with
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Or it's like, hey, wait, what are these guys talking about?
Pouring
And let's
fuel
be
on the
honest.
fire.
And let's be honest, all growers have a certain sense of pride. It's an inherent thing that comes along with growing your own medicine and being proud of, success is relative. your 2 ounce plant might be the baddest plant you've ever grown, and somebody else is different. You know, I'll often say that about people's houses. We go into someone's house, it might be a single wide trailer and it's kind of tore up, but to those people, it's their whole life, man. That's what they worked hard for, and you have to respect it as such. So I think it's a good challenge against yourself to try and grow the biggest artists. It's not easy. And I'm worried. I've been talking a lot of shit, man, to my man, Doc MJ. We're growing the same ones as some of our other friends here. And I've been trying to talk a little bit of shit, some good hearted ribbing. And I told my wife, I was like, watch, I'm going to get myself in a jam here where I'm going to have to hang my head and say, yeah, but all 3 of mine are stunted.
You know, it's a good thing that Smott and I are used to the taste of crow.
That's right.
So, you know, well, we're no strangers to pain.
I see no stranger to pain. That's our famous, what was that? Rambo. When they put Rambo up on that mattress and they cranked up the juice, remember?
Oh my
The Russian guy come over because Rambo didn't even flinch when they shocked the shit out of him. That's what he said. I see no stranger to pain. And I tell my wife that all the time in my Russian accent. Those plants, they do though, man. If you stun them a little bit, we're not going to make it. And I'm curious. I want to try to fill a whole 4x4 tent. And it's, you know, it's not so much about vanity as it is trying to put all of our skills together. And there is a certain pride that comes along with growing big plants. And we do want to show people, you know, our stuff and what we do, and try to maybe help somebody else do the same thing. It's just all part of growing. So I think a lot of people want to get on there and show off their grows and sign up. So we encourage you to do that. And we want to say thanks to the Homegrown Cannabis Company for sponsoring the seeds and giving us a bunch of seeds to grow out so we can all grow them together, as well as Crossbone Genetics for taking care of our Canadian friends, and look forward to seeing a lot of them growing the same strains as well.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Cool.
Seeing some of those, because he had a lot of cool ghost strains that I'm curious.
You growing any of those weeds?
Slimer.
The slime, yeah.
No, I got Dean Bean going there.
I
Dean from
need-
chat there, he sent me some Trop Cherry crosses. I dropped all 3 of those, and I got 2
Nice.
from Kyle there. There's Breeder Kush and Snowbound. So I dropped
Gotcha.
those 2 too. Those haven't popped yet there, so I'm getting a little worried there at day 5. But we'll see.
That's Dean 420 from Cocoa for Cannabis. He's
That's right. That's
he
right.
gives out a lot of beans and helps out a lot of people in the community. And Dean's a good
I
guy.
got him on the schedule now. I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Got a lot
yeah.
of stuff. I got some.
Yeah, he grows fire, man. He throws out a lot of
Looks
nice
really
pictures
good.
there. So it's like, man, you know what? I'd like to try that.
And he not only grows bud, man, he grows like 10 greenhouses full of like succulents and different kind of things. He grows
Oh
all
yeah,
different.
he's in the greenhouse all day long, that kind of thing. So he's
What
got
a
good
life,
job,
right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? Hey, when you going to Thailand, we nerd?
Oh man, as soon as I get an invite, man, job offer, some kind of, you know, way in there. Kind of
I
like
hope-
what I wanted to do there with the U.S. wife there. Yeah. Well, let's do it there. It'd be a lot easier to live there, man. Holy shit.
You
lot
could marry
cheaper.
a Thailand woman, man.
Yeah, man.
What are they called? What's a Thailand woman? Is it Thai? Just Thai?
It's Thai. It's
Thai.
Thai.
Okay, yeah, you could marry a Thai woman and then you would have granted citizenship there.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the way to go. If you go down there,
It's-
you want to marry in, right?
Plus, you'll be
It's
able to
kind of
grow.
weird though. It's
Or else
kinda
you
weird
get
with
you
the
get no
Thai.
respect, as Rodney Dangerfield would say. You got to be in with a local, you know what I mean? Or else it's like, no, you're just that white guy, that U.S. guy.
What's weird, XY?
Oh, if you marry Thailand, it's like you can't own any property. It's all your wife's property. You just got to read up on this stuff.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Well, like you know what I mean? Like if I just go there at not married, then I'm way more limited, put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a
Well,
lot better to marry in.
you only
It gives
allow
you
like-
access to a few things that you can do that you can't do if you're not. Put it
Hey.
that way. They encourage
yeah,
it, right?
Well, yeah, if you're going there to get a wife, yes, get married. But if you're going there just to be a single player, well, it's a good
Oh.
time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Either way, it's good living. You know what I mean? It's just
They love white people down there for some reason.
yeah. No, but to go in business or whatever, you know what I mean? Like you can't
you
really
should look into
participate. You can't make money there. Like you can't, because they'll, you know what I mean? That's for them to make money. if you're an outsider kind of thing. That's our kind
That's
of
every country. That's
Yeah.
every country.
But if you marry him, then you kind of got an in with that family in that sense. So it's not that I'd marry just for that. It's just that's
It'd
kind
be
of the
fun to go
advantage.
there, man, but it's scary. The good buds are going.
Well, that's the
over
thing.
there. $25-$30 a gram, man, for good bud. They're getting $5,000 a pound for
That's
good
crazy.
smoke because they say there's,
Damn.
there's so much fucking bunk smoke over there. People are growing outside. They said you can actually find plastic and shit in your buds. The air is so bad over there and shit that it makes, I guess it's just not good. They said 90% of the bud you come across is just horrible, absolutely horrible. And when
A
they
lot of
first
air pollution and stuff. Right?
yeah, the dude said when they first legalized, most of it was just a guy sitting out in front of his house on a chair selling like buds that were just horrible. Like he said it, you wouldn't believe it. So
Quality is
the quality is
Yeah, I
way
think then
bad.
it's the curing,
now.
right? Like they got a real bad cure problem down there.
No, that's what it was. Curing. And I'm thinking, man, $30 a gram. Not that I'm one to go and try and take
Better be good at that.
advantage of someone, but on my lip start, I like to make money.
They are
30 a gram. Holy
No,
cow.
that's like I'm not even looking at it from that angle, but
They're looking
but
for
that's
growers.
If you're a good
nice.
grower and you have the skills, then they're looking for you. You could easily get a job.
Hey,
And you can look into maybe like a mail order husband. If they have that kind of-
Yeah, exactly. You need a wife first before you get a job down there. You
Yeah.
get it backwards there, Chris.
Well, someone who's already there working, right? Who's already got the permits, already got everything, then they can get you in. You know what I mean?
That's what this dude.
Like in the States, that's how it works. You get a job there, because if you don't, you try and get in. So what are you going to do here? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and find a job. Nah, no, that's for our citizens. You know what I mean? But if a company brings you in, that's different. You know what I mean? Then
Yep.
you don't have to take somebody's job. You already have one.
Right.
You know
Well,
what I
that's what it was there. He's working for somebody. They're a citizen of that country and have been, and they have money and want to invest. So they hired him to
There
grow
you
for them, So that's what he's doing. It's
That-
not
That's what I want. I want a Thailand sugar daddy.
it, man. But I think it'd be fun. And
Or a US one. If you're a billionaire, I'll grow for you.
one thing about it is over there is there's a need for some good growers because I think one thing they're going to do is they're going to start being one of the forefronts, which is something we was talked about. This isn't my original idea, but they're going to be the forefront of cannabis testing, especially for medical and different reasons, because it's the way that the law's set up. You don't really, I guess they don't need certain permits and shit. It's just open freely to test whatever. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of shit's going to come out of there over the next 5 years. People will just be able to.
What's the uncertainty, right? Like it's military government, it's dictatorship. You don't, it's extremely unstable. Let's just say you don't know what's going to happen next year. I mean, you can have all these plans. And, I'm going to retire there, and then boom, it's civil war.
Yeah. And you're stuck.
Yeah.
You can't get a plane out,
I
And
like Canada, it's nice and safe here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm staying right here.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah, I
pricey, but
want-
without.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be born here in the United States, especially being a lady, a woman.
Yeah.
No,
Middle East countries and stuff.
I'm
It's
I'm
tough
blessed to
over here for women.
be, and born here. And
I'll have to move side of things.
there's lots to complain about everywhere, but I'm want to always remind myself to be grateful.
Fresh water.
I know.
Yeah.
It
I'm.
would be nice to visit. I mean, that'd be really
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
not
Go,
want- I
go,
wouldn't
go
wanna
spend
live
a few
there.
weeks there first, right? And scope
for a
it out.
month,
and-
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, do I really want to live here?
Yeah, you get on some of them farms out there in Thailand in the deep country. Those are some good souls, man.
Yeah.
Those people have been living off the land and handing down things from generation. And they'll probably, I bet you it'd be great to just sit there, at least in my picture, sitting there with a couple old heads. And then you get the kids running around and they know how to grow back there. And those people have strains, I guess. Well, I've heard this from breeder Steve Potent Ponics said that some of those people have strains up and they've been keeping them for years and only growing them in that area and stuff. They've never really been transplanted out of there. And I guess that's part of the fun too, is they're now sharing those genetics that grow great in that area. They've been doing it for
Through land races.
yeah. That's pretty cool.
Very nice. Oh, Kitty wants out. I guess I should bail there, but yeah, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Always
Yeah,
fun
appreciate you
to
stopping
join in the
by.
show and see you guys.
I
Oh, I can't wait to see it day by day. We're gonna see it, see the
Yeah. And at the
experiment.
end of the grow, well, then I'll
Yeah.
be able to time lapse it there. But it does a time lapse every day, so I can potentially make a little like sampler or whatever to see how it looks and stuff. But I'll
Yeah.
be, me there. I'll be posting pics every day of it in cocoa for cannabis. So,
Of
we'll see you
course.
guys. We'll see you guys there and in chat. There, I'll be in chat.
Awesome.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
Cheers, guys.
Later, buddy.
Grow that.
Hey, I wanted to say out to the CT Exotic said something about he didn't have plans to show, so he didn't want to hang out. But that doesn't mean you can't come hang out. You can smoke down with us. We don't even have our can. We don't got no plans to show. They're at the dark. You can.
I see they're coming down,
Yeah.
but yeah, we don't ever have to have plans. So you can just
You
come and hang
on,
out.
ask questions.
Yeah, we hope you feel comfortable. Everybody, that goes for everybody in chat.
Give some information. Take some information. 420's coming.
Oh yeah, we're like the eve of.
That's it. 420.
420. 420 tomorrow. Drop them seeds. Drop them seeds. I'm not even home and they're still getting dropped.
We were going to do a seed drop, but it just doesn't work for us. Now I want to do mine. I'm probably going to do them at like right after midnight or something. And I got to get up early and be on the job an hour away tomorrow. And it's just not conducive to get a 420 show. And I don't want to wait till put it tomorrow night to drop them. So I guess we just have to work
After
them into our show.
midnight, we're gonna get our sticky dickies wet.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like fun.
After midnight. Yeah, that's cool. You got a song in my head now.
But yeah, it's exciting. I'm super stoked. This is the Stoners holiday, right?
Hey,
Like
That it is.
to smoke
Yes.
down, right?
Absolutely.
So you guys are all growing stickies. I'm curious to see how you guys. I mean, certain phenoms are going to take off, other ones aren't. In those sticky seeds. Any side bets? Who's going to grow the biggest?
I don't know about any side bets, but I've really been, giving Doc the business about growing a sticky dicky in our 4x4. Now he said he's setting up a 4x4 tent just to grow one of these. I'm going to try to grow two. We're going to grow sticky and the crystal pinkman. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, we got a crystal pink.
I guess that's an ode to that show.
Yeah. Cooking math, whatever.
Yeah.
It is.
So we're going to try. You never know how they're going to go. That's what we're going to try. All right, let me get CT here. I didn't hear him come in. Oh, shit. I want to click the button and I muted Artman. You'll have to unmute yourself, Artman. My bag. But, well,
Those
How
small
dare you?
fat fingers.
CT's he must be having trouble with his phone.
With his YouTube or his Wi-Fi connection, maybe. But you can keep trying.
Yeah, you don't feel bad. I wanted
How long did I have to trouble? You notice mine didn't cut out the other day when I was in the room either.
nope.
So
It didn't.
I've been doing pretty good.
There he is. This is what we're doing. We're gonna do solo cups straight to we're gonna have about 2.5 gallon
Yeah.
pots, and then we're just gonna finish them in there. We're gonna try to top them twice, once in the solo cups, once in the final pots, all within 30 days. Hopefully more like 24 days, 25 days. That's the plan. But I have been giving Doc a good ribbon and told him this is one where the student now will overtake the teacher.
The master.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, my hip pocket is where I'm going to keep it. No, I'm just kidding. I've been giving him a hard time about it, but like I told my wife earlier, I have to eat crow, so I have to talk a lot of shit now just because I can. You know what I mean? We'll see.
Yeah.
How
Well, it's been a
Hey, the
minute
pressure's on. Pressure's on for Doc. I mean, come on.
because it's been a couple years now since we've grown autos.
yeah, I've stuck my
Well,
foot
when
in my mouth more than once.
We first moved in, we grew around to autos, and we haven't grown autos since.
That's it. It's been 2.5 years, and
Yeah.
there's no difference. It's just a matter of we're gonna have to keep an eye on them a little bit, get the transition newts, and we should be off to the races.
It will be challenging though, the environment. I'm kind of concerned about it. It'll be a challenge.
hair conditioner.
Hopefully, we're just running the one tent, maybe, because we're gonna drop a couple seeds, and if we get a couple to go.
They're asking if the Pinkman is a goo cross. I don't think it is. I looked them up and I don't think it is. I can't remember.
I can't remember. I was supposed to write them down.
I read it, but I can't recall now because I looked up like 5 or 6 of them to decide which ones I wanted, and we ended up on them too. But those are on. We've never grown autos from them, obviously, so we'll see how they do. The homegrown cannabis company's been putting out some killer looking seeds. Like Puffy was growing them. We've grown them. I think I can't remember who's all. A lot of people in the challenges have grown, but everybody seems to get great germination rates. They have a guaranteed germination rate, or your money back, or free seeds, or whatever.
Yeah, they have that. They have a guarantee on their seeds, so that's nice.
And they're within the United States border. For the longest time, to get good seeds, you had to go to the Dutch, or somewhere in Europe to get the good seeds. And it's not like that anymore. That's one good thing that we have on our side here is you can get them seeds in your house, in your hand in 3 days, man, and get rolling.
Lots of seed companies now. There are just tons of them.
Yeah, they exploded. It's crazy.
Well, it's legal now. Those seeds and clones,
Ever since
deal with seeds. So
what was it? The 2018 Farm Bill legalized
the hemp bill. Yep, the hemp bill.
And now you can grow hemp. Yeah, for and they should be doing a lot more of that. The hemp farming. I was reading about that. I guess it grows so fast. It does really good at cleaning up soil too, man. Like if there's nasty shit in the soil, it'll help neutralize it, or kind of take it out.
It remediates it really well.
Yeah,
I believe they're using it in Chernobyl.
Yeah, man, but I don't know how. I mean, you're not smoking this shit. You're making ropes out of it or whatever. All these other products.
I don't know. I don't know what they do with it. I doubt they'd use it.
I'd smoke some nuclear bud.
Hey, Chernobyl bud. Hey, there you
go, buddy. What was I thinking?
This shit will take the lump out of a camel's back. Yeah.
It'll make your hump day into a straight day.
That's right. That's it. Oh, that's funny.
This will never be straight day.
We're gonna roll up
sure.
the Cheers to our buddy Kyle for sending them seeds out. The Violet Beauregards are real hit around here, man.
Did you guys harvest them?
Yeah, we're smoking.
Oh yeah, we're smoking them. And
you guys already got it cured.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
We harvested these over a month ago, man.
The Violet Beauregard and NYGC? Or is that before?
No, that was before. We started that before the NYGC.
Yeah, it was a separate
Okay.
thing.
So you're on your mimosa. That's what you grew for then. And
mimosa and apple fritter.
Yep, mimosas and apple fritters.
Are those about done? They should be getting close.
They're ready.
Oh yeah, they're ready. I can go take them tonight, but I don't want to.
We flipped on February 16th. So we're at 8 weeks and 3 or 4 days, or so. I forget how it works out. My journal says like 8.5 weeks, I think 8 weeks, 5 days or something. But yeah, they're ready, dude. We scoped them. They look ready. The one's actually popping white pistols and shit. And I feel like it's because it's ready. But it didn't look like it had a whole shitload of ambers, which I don't want a whole shitload. But I told her, based on, trichomes to me are just a snapshot in time, man. It doesn't tell you how the plant has progressed from flip to that point. It doesn't tell you what it's done in the last week and how it's got plumpy and swelled and kind of folded down a little bit. It doesn't tell you how the hairs have really tightened up, not just turned brown, but now they're starting to get that tight look. There's a bunch of little markers. I think that you get to eventually, you get an eye for that when you start seeing one plant after another finish, and then you smoke that thinking, I liked it right where it was. That's where I like that harvest. And I think we've got ourselves down to where we like them maybe 2% amber, and that's about it, and once I see a few, I think I'm ready, but it's an overall view. And it seems like that's about where I like mine, you know?
Yeah, and what I've noticed in checking that overall, when we get about, we're there now, we have like, around 5% amber,
Yeah.
I'd say. And then the rest is cloudy, but we probably have like a 2 to 3% clear
What you're always
on
going
there
to.
too. So
You're never gonna
that's
have
we-
all of them.
that's right where we've
Yeah.
been taking them. So
So
I was worried
When the-
there for a minute, when we first started doing this. I'm like, wait, there's some clear. And on someone's advice, they said just try it and see how you like it. And
Not
we've
all,
been doing this that way ever since, because it's
and not all, I've noticed that not all strains will turn amber real hardcore. It doesn't matter how long you let them go. They could be on week 10 and you're still only going to see, or 11 or whatever. You're not going to see a whole shitload. It's just how they are. It's kind of odd. It makes you wonder. What was you going to say, XY?
So when they get all ambery, mine's got a little bit more amber than I think I'll like, because the wedding cake, I think I'm going to get very couch locked. I'm going to be
That's-
like, oh, I'm hitting it, and then I'm going to be useless. So it's going to be a nighttime fun thing.
That's always been the thought, right? That's always been my thought process too. The longer you let them go, I want to say, now don't hold my feet to the fire on this, but I want to say studies are actually showing that that's not the case when it comes to, let me put it this way. I don't think when it goes real long, it's showing a lot of CBD or THC turn into that like we once thought it did. I think it does, but maybe not at the rate. We just had this conversation and someone said that, and I was like, they mentioned the study and something else, and I was pretty blown away by that. And I'm thinking, I always thought the longer I let it go, the more couch lock. But I do feel like there's a point where it's not as good. You've kind of went too far, and it's not 13 weeks, like, which would be obviously crazy or whatever on those strains. But seriously, I think there's a big difference between like harvesting a plant at 8 weeks, 5 days versus 9 weeks, 5 days. I believe when you get to a certain point, there is a big difference in that, but it's not an easy thing to nail. Every plant's different. I bet if you monocrop the whole bunch over and over, you really nail that. But from seed, it's not easy, is it? We often struggle with that. Like this one here is totally ambering out on us, but the one beside it isn't. They're the exact same age, but they're two different strains. So you're like torn, and then you're waiting on the other one and it never really does turn. And then you're thinking, did I go too long? Now I'm not going to get a true representation of the smoke. And this is the kind of neurotic shit that Smart Poker goes through.
Well, I ran clones, and they're pretty consistent, but I fine tuned it to get the taste and the terps that I wanted. So
Yeah,
that's the advantage of running cones. You
Yes,
can do
it
it. You can test it each time. So,
that's a great point. I'm not anti-clone or anything, man. I hope that wasn't the
yeah,
point.
right.
no, I would do that too. Like it's
It's
something
just
we
not
want
for me.
but it's something we want to add to what we're doing. We've taken clones, we want to grow one out, and I feel like we got a little taste of the DWC that one time we grew in perlite for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, there's
That looks beautiful.
Yeah, that's a nice looking bud there, buddy.
That is
I
awesome.
don't know if I could get it focused, but it came out pretty good, man.
Yeah, not bad.
Can you see it? Is it focusing in or no?
right
we
there.
can see-
It is. Wait,
A little
right
back
there.
off a little bit more.
Yeah. Right there.
we go.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
nice.
looks
I'll probably put some light on it if I get up.
Chunky.
What strain is that?
That's a Fruit Loop.
Oh, okay. Never heard of that one.
It was from Atlas Seeds. It was an auto. It was one of those autos that was in that 5x5.
Ah, okay.
So, but yeah,
How long
I
now?
didn't mean it like that when I said that. Sorry, I just don't like showing my face on camera. On these, recorded
I got
ones.
you.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I just, I haven't been able to watch the show much, so I usually people just come on and show their plants and stuff. So I didn't want to infiltrate.
Oh no, man. I
But I'm
understand.
always down to hang out, man.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure you knew that you was welcome. You didn't have to have your plans to show. You come on and interject with anything you might think is pertaining to the subject, or just hang out and do whatever.
Absolutely appreciate that, man.
I like
Appreciate
your logo there. Check dude out. He looks higher than 2 Georgia pines, man.
you.
You smoke
I
a blunt.
love the logo, man. And you know what? The slogan is gonna be the it now. I haven't smoked much of anybody else's weed but my own since my first grow. Even though it wasn't the best, I stuck with it because I made that logo before I was done, and
Hey, man.
that's just what I'm
Oh my
going with.
gosh.
Man. If I don't grow it, I don't smoke it. So that's it
Nothing
from there.
like getting high on your own supply. In
Right,
which
you know?
way?
It's so rewarding, and
I will say this. I would smoke any of you guys' buds or any of the buds in chat, but I don't want to go down here and buy them from the dispensary. And I
that's what
definitely,
I mean. That's what
Yeah.
it really means. It's really
I knew that.
anti-dispensary, and anti corporate weed because
Right.
Yep.
And
corporate
I
weed.
also don't want to go to Crackville down in Crackville Central just to buy a quarter ounce.
Yeah,
of
yeah, I'm
weed.
definitely not
You know what I
smoking
mean?
a work pack. You know,
Yeah, man.
that definitely not.
You know,
But
you
yeah,
have to go to some shady ass places, man.
Equal Killiansburg.
Yeah, I sat on some dirty couches waiting for my bag of weed, and it's just like I felt grimy when I left there, and I'm thinking, man, is this stuff, you know? So I'm glad I don't miss that, man, at all. At
I
all.
was started when I first thought about it because I've been a weed connoisseur my whole life. Like since I was a teenager, I wouldn't smoke anything that like had seeds in it. I wouldn't. I was
Oh.
very like anal about it. I smoked Zone a couple of times, like when it was the only thing around. But once the good stuff, you know, I was young at that time. But after that, once like Beasters came out, and then it went to exotics, I never looked back. But I wish I would have started back then. You know, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, because man, the love you get for it is insane.
Oh, we all wish we
Oh,
would have
yeah.
started growing way before, you know. I wish I would have been gotten serious. And when I was younger, I didn't have enough patience to grow, man. When I was a teenager, we tried when we was young. We put the plants out. We didn't know anything, man. And you know how it is. We'd be interested in them for a week, and then it'd be summer. It's summer. I'm at the river. I'm drinking beer. I'm going doing, you know, swimming, doing my thing, and
Go check on it. You know,
yeah, or you know, and then in the early 20s, I was the same way. I was working, drinking all the time on the weekends. I didn't have time for anybody or anything, man. And it was like I had to get to a certain age to have the patience, the enough sense to be able to grow correctly, I think, and have enough humbleness to be able to take advice and say, oh, I fucked up here and did wrong, and you know, and or just ask for help, you know, because that's something a lot of men can't do easily, man. It's very emasculating sometimes to say help, you know, is
right.
It's our culture, I guess, or whatever, you know. But yeah.
Man, I wouldn't be who I am today without my wife.
Yeah. Man.
We as just men suck, man. We need our better half or we're done.
Hey, you know what else, CT? When we was coming up, nobody would give us any information about growing. We tried to find it. Well, we didn't have computers, you know, and
Right. They didn't want to give it to you, you know.
yeah, because the people that knew how to grow, that was every Croptober. That was a big part of their yearly income, and they didn't want any competition, you know. And that was coveted information, man. Coveted seeds and coveted everything was hush hush.
Too much greed. You know, they didn't want to allow, you know, certain people in, and it sucks. It's the same thing that's going on now.
I started with 2 books in High Times magazines, you know.
Yep.
Ed Rosenthal.
High Times was the spot, I guess.
That was all there was then, you know.
Hey, think about
That's
all
the
time.
70s, you know.
Well, I gotta say, you're a lot older than me, Art, man. But I think about all the times up through the 90s when I was younger, and all the seeds that ended up in the ashtrays that we thought was just
Yeah.
bag, you know. We were like, we just throw them away. They were just refuse, you know. And I was thinking back now, like, I wish I had a whole bunch of those seeds, you know. A whole bunch of those seeds.
Yeah, because you don't know what genetics they were neither. And they're just amazing to grow indoors and, you know, have control over it because
yep.
You
Just
can find
because
amazing stuff.
But we never thought of it like that.
No, of course not.
In my life, I never had the mindset of genetics or keep these seeds or anything. I was just a smoker, you know, and you really had to be quiet and hush about that because it was just, yeah, obviously, you know. It is what it is. Hey, there's our buddy LED grower.
How are you doing?
Hey,
I'm
LED.
good. How are y'all?
Oh,
What's
damn.
going on?
Always blessed to be alive. You?
I'm good. I'm good.
I see you got them wrapped in Mylar, huh, buddy?
That
That's
looks
looking
nice.
good.
Well, what I did was this was my flower tent for the sour grape rock candy. So since this got a week and a half left, I put it in the wooden room and put these in here so they can stretch on out.
Nice.
Nice. Man.
They're getting a lot more.
That's nice.
They're going to catch a
Yeah,
lot.
they needed more room to stretch out, but they're looking nice.
He's using straight cocoa in them.
Great cocoa, huh?
Oh, he has a
Yes,
little bit of
yes.
soil in there, I think. Didn't you put a little bit of soil mixed in with them?
Yes, I did 1 bucket, 1 gallon of soil to 5 bricks of cocoa.
Okay.
Wow. Nice. How many times you gotta water those things?
For like the last week, 2 weeks, it's all just water, pH water, no CalMag in it, just pH water.
Wow, that's amazing. They're doing much
Wow.
better. If I
good.
didn't know, I would never guess that that's how you've been treating them. Honestly, I would never think that.
That's all I did. That 1 gallon of soil, and I did some regular 444 and some earthworm castings, and with those 5 bricks of cocoa, and that's it.
Wow.
Like I did feed them some nutrients, synthetics for like the first week or two till they acclimated to the soil and cocoa. But after that, it's just been plain pH water.
I'm assuming eventually you'll have to start fertigating with some nutrients again, but right now they look pretty good, man.
Oh yeah, they look good.
Yeah, I'll probably end up. I can look at them. Y'all can't tell much here, but I can tell that they lightening it up on the top a little bit. So
I was
probably
gonna say it looks like they are lightening up.
It's
yeah.
hard to
My
tell
next
that.
water, and I will be feeding them.
Yeah.
It looks like you got a great understanding of your plants and your substrate there, man, and they're really coming out for you. How's them ones that you harvested those ones a few weeks back? How's the smoke on them?
They still only cut down 3 of them, and they still drying. So
Okay.
I will. Yeah, I'll be letting you know after they finish drying.
Right on. What's your stickers back there? Look at he got the
The hanger,
You get the
trick,
hanger
I
trick.
love it. And D is here with us. I bet it's cool to see, everybody catching on to your idea over there.
I
Oh, yeah.
saw it somewhere else.
I
I can't take
Well,
credit, but I'm happy to share.
It does work. I mean, my little fan is it's a small little 4-inch fan, but this side here was sucking in, and I always had to keep it from sucking in. I just leave the bottom flap open on the zipper part, and it stopped the sucking in. But when I started using the hanger and figure out what they was using it for, I said it makes sense. So it does work.
Nice. Spring loaded. Excellent.
But I'm gonna show you these clones here. I'll be doing these clones probably about another 3 weeks. I'll be flipping these right here.
They look nice.
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 What's
I
that?
think I did pretty. I think I did pretty good for the clones.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
those
think
look nice.
Yeah, those.
I
You
mean,
didn't.
they nice little structure on the bottom. I haven't done any lollipopping to them, any cleaning up. That's just the way they've grown since after they rooted.
What's that? An auto flower over there in the corner.
That's a critical jack.
Okay.
Yeah. She's about 3.5, 4 weeks in.
She's light.
Still got a little ways to go. Yeah, I need to feed her. She's like getting a little light green, so I need to feed her too.
Nice.
But that's what I got going on so far.
Right on. It's always
Looking
nice.
good, man.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Always
Appreciate it.
nice to get the updates from you, LED grower.
Yeah, the nose stacking gonna be nice on here too.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how's that one tent that had the single plant in it with the net? Did you harvest that one?
No, that's the one I moved out of that flower tent and put it in the other room, my wooden room where I had the auto flowers.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. That's right.
It got it has about a week and a half left, and then it'll be ready to be cut down in about another week and a half.
Was it hard to get out of that net, or did you just have to kind of move it all at once? And
Actually, it was a little difficult getting out. I'm kind of glad I went ahead and got it out before it ripened up, and I was starting to lose trichomes trying to get it out.
yep.
I think that's gonna be the only thing that I'm gonna hate about trellising is the finished product of actually getting it out. Because that net that I bought, it's the elastic one, so it's not a actual throwaway. It's not one that I want to cut up.
Yeah, it could take a little while, man. Depending on how crazy you get tucking and twisting and rolling whenever you're putting them they're, you know.
It was, and I didn't do a whole lot of twisting and rolling. I mean, like mine was just pretty much straight up in there. But nevertheless, I mean, like getting them out, it got caught on some of the smaller ones as I was pulling it up. So, but I ended up getting it out without really messing it up. So I'm kind of glad I went ahead and got it on up out of there.
Right on.
Were you thinking about growing in it the whole time, or?
No, I didn't start growing in that trellis net until about a week before I flipped. A week before I flipped, I set it up, and as it grew, I just let it grow up in it. Yeah, I didn't weave it in there or nothing.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you were in for it. You got it out just in time.
I like putting mine on right at the stretch. When the stretch is at, just have the tips poking up through for support, man. You know, rather than having buried real deep down in the crux wherever I trained it and stuff. I kind of like mine, and I only want to use one, so it's kind of tough because when you use them that late, you really can't use them to spread your plants out. But if you put them on early, you almost have to put a second one on. And I don't even want the first one, you know what I mean? But I don't want 20 yo-yos either. So it's like I get jammed up. We're going to try to do smaller plants and more of them and not need them. But now I'm finding that they just topple over real easy because then it's just something.
Yeah, you have no stems. You have no stems.
I kind of figured out when you're doing your training a little early to stiffen up those branches where you don't have to use a trellis net. Like these right here, I've been going. It's kind of hard for me to show you, but what I go in is just, if most of the time, like this lollipop, I just start here and just Indian burn all the way up, and it actually thickens those up. You see how thick that is? That's because I've been studying Indian burning, and so it actually makes a nice little structure for them. See, like
So
it kind of thickens them up. And it's able to hold those buds no matter how heavy those are when you're doing them like that, because they stiffen up. They stiffen up really hard, like you almost put knuckles in them.
I don't know, man.
So that's actually what it does. Like some of these got little baby knuckles in them.
I see them.
You need the trellis net later when you get the buds really thick. That's when they start toppling over, when they start leaning down. That's when you need the trellis net. So, you won't know until then.
Like I said, that was my first time trellising, so I think I'm gonna do it a little different on this one right here. I'm gonna wait till probably the end of the stretch. But I found out the best time. I found out a little key to my little stretching too, to keep it limited. Like I lower my light. Like I burn my lights just like MJ Coco. They actually, like this light here is 100 watts, so it's at 100 watts. So what I do is as it grows, either I lower it or I just take it up. But I'd only take it up maybe like 3 or 4 inches instead of the 6 to 8 inches. And that keep your nose spacing tighter together. But when you're ready to flip the flower, like when I did my last tent, when I did that flower tent up under the trellis, because that was a 300 and I had it right at 245 watts. So when it started giving me the stretch, I just lowered the light.
I've never noticed.
And it cut down on the stretch tremendously. Like because of the weight, if I wouldn't have, like, because I had to wait to veg that plant a lot longer because I only had that single plant, it actually gave me less leg than what I should have had in that tent. So I can tell the difference by doing it like that. But it kind of helped with that stretch.
I'll say this, LED grower. I would much rather, how I want to say this in a way that doesn't, I'd much rather get my grows going and plan for a good, healthy stretch than to blast my plants with light to try and shock them to keep them from stretching. And that's not really a good thing. What you're doing is creating phototropism, or I'm sorry, you're creating phototoxicity, too much light. And now your plant cannot really handle that. So they kind of just stop growing a little bit. And that's not really a good thing. we want that healthy bulb. But what you have to do is when you're starting your seeds and you're setting up your space, you have to think, my plant's going to double when I flip. How long am I going to veg? So this all goes back to the beginning of the grow and when you're starting and how you lay your spade out. Every grow should start with the space. Then you figure out your lighting. Then you figure out your plants per square foot. And it takes a while to get that. But one thing I wouldn't advise you to continue to keep doing is to blast them with light and try to get them to slow down like that. Because that bolt is good. You want that healthy bolt. That's your plant flipping from vegetation to reproductive stage. And that's a good thing. And you want to kind of prepare for that versus try to stop it from happening. And it's I think you'll see a much better result in the end, because here's one thing I've learned is that your plants will they slow way down way before you start to see the actual results of overlighting. You'll start seeing the canoeing. You'll start seeing your plants kind of like shade avoidance or however they do that, trying to find shade. And I think your plants have already been overlit for a while, but I understand what you're saying. Sometimes the stretch can really put you in a situation in your grow, and people really need to be aware of that and try to mitigate it. But I would say, I would advise you to try different means moving forward. And I like the fact that that your visual is doing it. You see that shit happening and you're trying to find a way around it. And that's good. And I'm just trying to help you out there a little bit, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I understand what you're saying.
I get talking every time over lowering the lights.
Smart.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I don't want to misspeak, but for LED grower, I think he has a lot of plants under a very weak light, as in not a lot of watts.
Right.
So he doesn't mean that he's turning the power of the light down. I think he's lowering the light fixture closer to the canopy, because there aren't a lot of watts to supply the plants, so they're stretching for the light, not bolting, because they have a lot of light. So in order to limit that stretch for the lack of light, he's lowering the fixture closer to the canopy.
Okay.
Slightly different take on that.
Yes.
He wasn't lowering it from like right.
Yes,
I wasn't lowering it from like 300 watts to 100.
No, I thought
He was increasing. Right.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. Well, either way, I mean,
I wasn't lowering. Yeah, I wasn't lowering the light intensity. I was like actually like lowering the whole board itself, because both of my lights this one is 100 watts, like I said, and the other one's 135. So to control the stretch and flower, it's at 135 watts. So I would lower it to keep that stretch at a minimum, so my node spacer wouldn't be so gappy.
Even then, though, what you're doing then is you're creating a hot spot on your plant. All you're doing is lowering the light on the edges to a lower one and creating a hot spot in the middle. Now, in your situation, you have you have overspill losses, man. Because you don't have a reflective on some sides, so some of that light's actually getting lost. But you're right. When you lower your plant, when you lower your light, you're going to raise your densities in the middle and lower them on the edges. But you can't really raise your light and just get all that bounce. If you had them in a nice tent, you could just raise your light up as high as you wanted, and you really wouldn't lose anything because it's all going to get funneled down to your tent with reflectivity. You see what I'm saying? You'll get better distribution the higher you go, but you won't lose light.
Yeah. Once I get through with this grow here, I'm gonna get my grow room straightened out. I'm not gonna what I got going on now, I'm gonna finish those out. Then I'm gonna actually take my time and spend me a little money and get my grow room right.
I got you. Your clones look great, man. I wasn't giving you a hard time.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
For 100 and something watts, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
That's strictly 100 watts. No more, no less. Strictly 100 watts.
That shows you what you can do, man. If you could contain that with some reflectivity, I'm just like the other 10, that you're going to do much, much better, man. And you're
these are the lights I've been growing with for the last 3 or 4 years. This is what I've been flowering and vegging with for the last 3 or 4 years.
You're doing what you got to do, man. And we've talked about this before with your light bill and the amount of light you're willing to run and all this other stuff. So I get it. I love the variety that you keep, and the amount of shit that you got going under a low wattage situation. You know?
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's fun. So I figure when I'm able to get my funds right and get me a nice bar light, man, I'll probably kill it. So it's gonna be interesting.
We're looking forward to it,
excited.
brother, for sure. Yeah.
Gotta learn how to drive a Pinto to drive a Ferrari.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
The better you drive that Pinto, the more that Ferrari's gonna race around that track.
You'll definitely notice the difference. You know, once you upgrade your light, put a lot more wattage over them, you'll notice a much bigger difference on how they process nutrients and just everything, man. It's pretty wild. It's a cool
Yeah.
thing to watch. Just to watch them get bigger, beefier, bulkier, more light, more plant, more butts, you know? We got VPD. Sorry, buddy. I guess I should have said hi a long time ago. I hope you don't feel like
It's all good. It's all good.
Ah,
Yeah, sure. I mean, hey, there we go.
Hey, VP, what's up?
Love
All right,
VP.
man.
Yeah, I was
VP's
like-
got big old tank. Big old tank,
Big old
green there.
Two
we
by
were
four.
thinking
Hey,
that son of a
alright.
bitch is gonna be full, man, and it's sure it's full. Doing up.
Is that
Like
2x4?
2x4.
That's a 2x4?
2x4.
Nice.
Really? Wow.
It's my first time scrogging.
Okay. I see that. Okay. You got
You're
a bunch of
natural, huh? How do you feel about it? You think it looks good?
This one's doing much better than this one. This one I got a nice glory hole in the center and is pretty yellow. I'm
Nice.
like 8 days into flower. The
Oh.
outside is stretching pretty good. This one's coming along all right-ish though.
I didn't know if that yellow was the camera or if it was really that yellow.
No,
I thought it's yellow
it
that's coming
is.
through.
It's yellow.
What's up?
And I fed them the earliest that I have yet. So I'm like, darn, I usually feed a lot lighter.
She might
And
be
on the
nitrogen whore.
10th, sorry.
I said she might be a nitrogen whore.
Yeah, but they're sisters. They're the same genetics. They're the
Doesn't
same
matter.
plants. Right.
Are they clones or are they
different.
seeds?
No, they're separate seeds.
Okay, there
They
you
are
go.
separate
Fair enough.
seeds.
Little
And
different.
I've been trying to give them more earlier, and I've given them the most that I have yet, and this one's so much further behind this one. And I don't know how I got such a glory hole in the center, whereas this one's doing okay. But yeah, I'm pretty darn happy for my first shot at this.
No,
What
look,
are you
We'll see what
growing?
happens.
See?
What are we gonna do about that yellow, man?
Oh, yeah.
What's your idea?
7-gallon air pots.
But what media?
Reused peat.
Okay.
They got
They
some
might
nice-
get a
100%
little
peat.
bit.
100% peat.
Perlite and hydroton for aeration.
We got everything in this show. It's crazy. I
I
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Heat, soil, everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
water
yeah.
bottles, buckets.
Water bottles.
Yes.
Whatever
We
it
got water
takes.
bottles now.
There he is.
Kool-Aid containers that hold fruit that we
Upside down clones.
Yeah.
What do we got over there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, start ready.
We're getting ready for tomorrow for the
Oh,
spring
right.
autoflower
All
challenge.
right. He's ready.
You going right
Beach,
into
go
that
for
pot?
the Beach.
I haven't decided yet. I might start him in these. I might put him in some like Jiffy plugs.
But I'm
I'm
going
not
with
quite
first.
sure. I might just drop him in here. I
Well,
think
you're
I'm gonna
close.
wet. Sorry.
You're close to what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start mine in Jiffies, and then I'm gonna transplant them up. And this is my first time with the air pots, so I'm gonna put them in air pots in about a week when they're ready, and go from there.
I might stick them in Jiffies so I can put some mycorrhizae on and then transplant into here. I
Okay.
think that might give them a little bit of a burst. Or I might just go like this, and then after these, I'm going to put them in the number 3 air pots. And I'm giving up my veg tent.
Well,
I started a seed because I didn't want to have nothing. I adopted out the big, huge solo cups I had going here. They were big. So I adopted those out. This is a half sister to the ones over there. This one I gave a new father. But I don't know what'll happen with this one because I'm gonna need this tent. It's 20 by 36.
okay.
And I'm gonna need it for the 2 number 3 air pots for the autoflowers. It's gonna get tight.
20 by 36. Yeah, that is going to be tight.
That's gonna be tight. Yeah.
This is 5
that's-
square feet. My veg and my flower is 8 square feet. So
You know, this goes back. There's something I want to mention real quick. Well, back to the LED grower. I want to mention there was someone saying in the chat about how much light you need to grow, and you can grow with that much light, but according to physics, there's a physical limit of how much product you're going to get under that much light. That you can only harvest so much with that much light, and that's going to be considered your limiting factor. So yes, you can grow with that, but you put those same plants under, say, 700, 800 micromoles of ppm, and they would produce a lot more. So yes, you can do it, but I just want to make sure that that was clear. That I don't want him to think we were bragging on him or anything like that. It's about projected physics there. How much light, how much field can you get with this much output of usable light? I mean, and there's going to be a limit there, and he understands that, you know, which that's one reason why the Kyle Cushman method probably works a little better in that situation, because there's only so much light there to power those big colas, you know. So when you upgrade those, there'll be a big difference. So anyone in the chat, I hope they understand that's how the limits work, you know. And that's all we were saying, is pointing out those physics limitations versus just ragging on somebody, and they understand.
Yeah, we
that
wouldn't
too.
do that.
That's not the. I don't want anyone to walk away.
LED grower.
Yeah, I don't want someone to walk away with that taste in their mouth. You
Yeah,
know?
this garden's beautiful and awesome. We look forward to seeing that.
Now, when we hang up here, I'm going to be ragging on VP for his yellow plant. I can't believe he did that, man. You've had him perfect.
I know.
I'm just
And I've been
kidding.
trying so hard not to counteract it.
Oh, you fell for
No,
that. Yeah,
I
you walked
know.
right into it, buddy.
I got no problem with the truth. It's cool. Like, even though I've been trying to prevent this, it happened.
Breaks my
So
heart, because I see you
Ah.
now over and over and over again, and to see that happen to you, because you're trying. This is your first grog. I don't want to see you run into that. You know what I mean? VP.
I'm working on it. Like on the 10th, I gave him an EC of 1.7. And then on like the 15th, I gave him 2.0. And they both got the same.
I think it's
Oh.
hot.
You sure you didn't lock them?
You might have
Yeah,
walked
you're hot, man. You're that's way hot. That's way
Hey,
hot. You don't
can I
want
give
that.
you-
But sorry.
ahead.
0.3 was all CalMags. And so the verse 0.3, I don't count.
Yeah, that's not a very big allotment though on an overall EC of 1.7 or 2.0. Now let me give you a small little piece of advice, and this you can take this for whatever you want. Next time you water your plants, water them
Yeah.
to fruit, and just water to. I don't know how much do you water to runoff? You probably don't, right?
I do.
How much?
Like 10%.
Are you testing it?
This one I haven't been testing.
Ah,
I put the saucers
yeah.
with the air pots. It's my first time, so I'm playing with my feeding and what I'm doing. So
Let me give you some of what I think's happening here. Your air pots are very porous, and you have perlite. Those things are drying up. When you run on a high EC like that, at the time of watering, that's the lowest EC the root zone is going to see until the next time you water. So you got to think about that. That's how this works. Your salt deposits as the evapotranspiration happens. So I would assume this, and I would almost bet dollars to donuts if you watered that plant and you drew up some of the runoff, the very first bit of runoff that comes off, you're going to be reading it like a 3 or a 4, or probably at least double whatever you're putting it in. And that'll be a surefire lockout for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pause my video for a second and I'll get my notebook and I'll tell you exactly. what I did because I've also given them water since then too.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but
and I
neither-
was ready to feed them today some more, but I'm gonna wait till tomorrow because they're still a bit wet. So on the 10th, I gave them 4 liters at 1.7. On the 12th, I gave them 4 liters of water, 0.3 of CalMag. On the 15th, I gave them 4.5 liters at 2.0. On the 17th, I gave them 3.5 liters at 0.4 of mostly CalMag. And today I was going to give them again, but I think it's still a drop wet. So I was going to give them a feeding, like humic stuff today. So, but
What
I'm
are
waiting
you-
till tomorrow.
What media are you in?
Oh, dude, they look a lot better in that camera.
You
Like
use
than
Pete.
the other one.
Yeah, they
Holy
don't look
shit.
as bad.
That don't
Like,
look bad at all now.
yeah, I think it was our camera. Like, maybe
They
it
look-
was just on our end too, because they
Let me
did look yellow on our screen,
they
but
look-
now they look a lot better.
Oh,
A
shit.
lot better.
They look straight.
What, mine?
Yeah, VP.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's not as
They
bad
look
as they
better.
thought it was. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, they did green it
Now
up.
look at them.
Yeah, it's your
Yeah,
camera.
no, then I thought
I had
they
to
were
read the
super
notes.
bright
That
red.
mattered.
Hey, here's my other thing though, VPD. There's
Wow.
one thing I always stand behind when it comes to this sort of you're doing a pretty much you're growing in a high porosity medium, and you're doing the fertigation. So just because of that, I always stand behind this, that runoff tells the tale. You always the root zone, whatever your root zone is at, is the most important thing, because that's wherever it all happens. So test your runoff, test your runoff, test your runoff, dude, and you'll always know where you're standing, because I'm still going to think you're a little bit high. You have a little bit, but it's not what it looks like. But I would assume you might be a little bit high, and I hate to see you go and get worse and worse and worse as you're moving forward.
It does
Yeah,
tell
Rob.
the tale. But one
Yeah.
thing about Coco is, you can get a lot closer to fixing things with. Oh, you're in Pete. That's
He's
our
in
guy.
Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Pete. He's in Pete.
Those are like high
Pete mix.
frequency fertigation.
It's reused Pete. So and
With
he's
amendments.
so he's given new.
And you don't want to, yeah.
So it's essentially just a high porosity, almost a hydroponic grow. Really, he's watering
Yes.
more than you would with soil, straight soil, or anything like that. So you have to. It still stands by all the same.
Yeah, I would say high
That-
frequency fertigation can almost help you be on your side sometimes when we run into trouble.
It
Up
fixed
those
right up.
we up those fertigations and
Well, the nice thing about
we pulled ourselves out of stuff.
the nice thing about high frequency fertigation is it works both ways. If you have a high EC, it'll lower it, because it'll correct itself just a lot of times just by frequency. It'll lower it. And if you have a low EC, it's going to continue to keep putting it on constantly and keeping it up. So it kind of helps work both ways. And that's where the consistency factor comes in, instead of these high spikes and then a drawdown and then a high spike, because your plant has to adjust to that, man. You'll get osmotic stress at the root zone, and your plant will have to almost, I think they give sugars or something they have to create to help stabilize the salinity at the root zone, and that takes away from growth. So I think a lot of times when people, I know some stress is good, but I think a lot of times it can be taken out of context or too far. Not that that's what you're doing, VPD. Your grow looks
Right.
great. Damn camera makes it
Yeah,
look like
that camera-
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
did it. It did it.
you have me like
Um,
sick to the stomach, man. It looks so yellow, dude. It was every leaf was like totally yellow, talking like sunshine.
No.
Yellow.
BPD. The only thing
Not
I
that
would add to this is
Yeah.
I would start trying to get your EC a little bit lower. 1.7, 2.0 is high. And what's going to end up happening, I did this to myself on my first cocoa grow, is
I
I
agree.
got my EC way high, and the flowers I got off of it were unusable, almost unusable, because they had so much chemicals in it. It just did not taste good. It just, yeah, I would try to work your way
I've
down
been-
on EC.
I usually maybe once or twice get up over 1.5 late in flower, and I've been trying to give them a little more earlier to combat this. And I was planning to stop and just water the rest of the way a little bit earlier, but it didn't really work out that way. And because of the way it's been going and giving them more, I've been trying to feed them less volume so that I can increase the frequency, which sort of cuts out my runoff.
Well, see, that's
So
the thing.
I'm trying to balance that somewhere. So
You'll get your balance if you test your runoff, because then you'll have all right, you can keep it in your head. I want my plants to be at a 1.5 EC. So when you test your runoff, if it's at a 3, you know you need to be at straight water. But if it comes off at a 0.5, you know these things are starving and you know to raise it. So what will set, you're looking for a schedule or regimen, and what sets that is your runoff. You test that, and let you know right where your root zone is at. And I think it'll help you, VPD. And I hope you give it a shot and maybe give us some feedback on that. It's your
absolutely.
growth. I'd like to see you be able to get a little more information. Data is our best friend, isn't it?
I like data.
Yeah, data works, man. Data works.
Data junkie.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're keeping those notes, and you know what, someday you'll look back on those and smile. I do. I look back on all my, I kept notes like that too. The EC, the pH, what I was putting it on, what it was coming off, what EC was coming off at.
What mistakes are made, how we try to correct them.
It's just, my side notes is funny sometimes to go back in those.
Just in case there's an answer there, I can find it.
That is where your answer is.
So VPD, are you hand watering these? It looks like it.
Yes, yeah, I'm hand watering.
Okay, how often?
Sounded like every other day or
Every other day.
I want to go like 4 or 5 days, but it's getting too dry, and it's my first time in these big pots. So I've been kind of going every third day, every other day, every third day. So I did the 15th, 17th.
I would slowly lower your EC down, but I'd water it more. I'd try to get to it every day if you can. That's what I would do. I think your plants would just pop.
I think that's great advice. I do. And I think
to runoff?
That's your runoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should get runoff every day?
That saves my plant.
Yep.
Your plant will let you know if you get too much hot topsoil, but I think maybe not every day, since it's going to hold a lot more moisture, but it may start to droop a little bit. I don't know, but you're going to want to. I agree with you, XY. I think maybe a little more often. I don't know if they'll. Them are big pots. I don't know if they'll sustain it, but I wouldn't be afraid to try it. I think testing runoff's the first thing to see how it's going. Because
I'll be high. I bet you my bottom dollar. I will be high.
If it's high, it's going to retard bud growth. It's going to retard a lot, and that's just my and like you said, it turns into some nitrogen flavored shit. I don't like something that's
No.
Well, remember, he's in peat though, so it's not going to be the same runoff rules you have in cocoa.
No, you're right about that.
What's the difference between peat? Does peat hold more water?
It does. And
Yes,
Okay, absolutely.
much more.
Soaks it
Much
right up.
more.
Okay, so it retains the water, but that means it'll retain the nutrients on the pores of the peat, basically. So yeah, okay.
But I also, if it comes running off at a 3, whether that's a soil slurry or something crazy, it's still going to be, well, maybe it's a little different soil, but even in his peat, since there's no live microbes really and shit, it's pretty much off immediately. Really, he's not going to have much.
You're not so there's not the buffer that soil has.
Yeah.
And if you're getting a high runoff, that's still salts, man. That's tough. That's osmotic stress. I think, but anyhow, I think that's a touchy one because I've never grown in that sort of a peat feeding high runoff kind of deal. And I think this is why we got to get VPD to switch to cocoa.
I have a full bale of this stuff too. I want to try cocoa, but I also have a full bale. And I've been reusing this stuff since I'm feeding it okay, except for all that. But
you're on the path for cocoa, man.
I want cocoa. I do want some cocoa, but I have a full bale of fresh Super soil.
I'll be curious to see some of your feedback, VPD. We're gonna have to wrap this up, man. I didn't realize the time.
All right.
We're there licking 9 o'clock. I really hope everybody had a good time, and I hope that you'll give us some feedback on some of these things with the LED,
Heck yeah.
with your crossbone genetics.
Yeah, I'm gonna wet them tomorrow or something. I'll do something with tomorrow. Happy 420, everyone. I'm gonna be in the Cocoa for Cannabis Spring Auto Flower Challenge. I hope everyone will come and join us for some fun. I like to visit Smart and Crispy, and I'm a little bit of a panel hopper, and I post some
Love it.
updates. So thanks for having me. Thanks for all the positive input. I hope to use it well.
Oh man.
Have a good one.
Take care, grow
Thank you.
love, man.
Thanks, Art Man. Thanks,
Yeah, grow
XYZ.
love.
Thanks, CT.
Yep.
Thank you, smart man.
Much
Thank
love,
you,
guys.
everybody. Grow love,
Equals.
guys.
Grow love. Awesome.
Yeah, CT, you want to go next, man? You can tell everybody where they can find you if you want to give an Instagram.
Oh no, man. I'm good. I just appreciate you for having me, brother. Thank you.
Right on.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Art, and you want to go and tell everybody where they can find you in case they want to watch
Okay.
your Dirk and your ABAs.
Artman420_ at Instagram, and at Cocoa for Cannabis. I hang out and chat. So thanks for having me.
Right
Oh,
on, man.
quick apology to Art Man. I've been having a few glasses of hash tonight, and now that I was on with you, I didn't have one ready or anything. So my apologies. I was thinking of you all night. I didn't do any.
Next time we'll do it together.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah, we
good.
can do that on Sunday.
Okay.
Oh, that would be awesome. I totally want to do
Old
that.
school
Dirk
hash.
Fair.
We'll do old school
Old
hash.
school hash. I want to do it. Yeah.
It's a plan.
Thank you for that tip. I appreciate it. A glass of hash.
Cool. XYZ Vector. Do you want to go next? Tell everybody where they can find you.
And you can find me on Cocoa for Cannabis. I hang out there every once in a while in the chat rooms. Now I'm going to be dropping my seeds tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm not doing the sticky dickies, but I'm going to try to grow the biggest, tallest plant next to the shortest plant. But I'm not going to stunt the short one. I'm not going to do anything to stunt it. So we'll see how it turns out. It'll probably be a mix.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. I'm Smart Poker. As always, you can find me here Sundays and Wednesdays. I want to remind everybody that the 420 sales will be going on. We have a link below that works for Medic Grow. It'll work for Photon Tech. And you can click on a link in there and get a good look at the Canatrol and all the new physics behind all that. And that Canatrol will change your game, man. And when it comes to
Oh, yeah.
Great. I want one.
Right on. So we hope you'll stop back. We hope if you're going to buy any of those products, if you could possibly use our links at Grow Sponsor. And then my wife, you can tell everyone goodbye. And
Yeah, I'm Crispy Wannabe. I will be here on Sunday. Hope you all come back. It was awesome to hang out with you. Grow love, everyone.
grow love.
Cheers.
Grower love.
Grow love. Thanks for having me.